Okay. Let's see how it rolls. What? Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another BTNeanderthal video. Today, we're going to be talking about the cold Bowazon. Mainly using freezing arrow with a little bit of ice arrow, and I don't really use cold arrow itself. But freezing arrow and ice arrow are the main things here. And then I also have maxed out guided arrow, enough points into pierce to max out the pierce chance, or apparently I did, but not at the moment apparently. So I did have enough for 100% pierce, and I definitely recommend doing that for sure. I did, I guess it was because, no, I know why. Because of that. There we go. Now we're good. I have a couple different sets of gear I'm going to be testing and showcasing today. So this is going to be probably a video on the little bit of the longer side. But if you want to try out the ice, cold, or freezing arrow build, this is what we're showcasing. We're going to try two different builds. We're going to try two different mercs and see how it goes. Overall, from what I've heard, cows are the best and tier 1 maps are the best. I tried tier 2 maps. It was okay, but the problem is there's a lot of cold immunes there, and with the cold immunes, you kind of like stack up on them quite a bit, and it's really annoying. So cold immunes are not really that great. So we're just showcasing cows here. Ultimately, this build is super fun. I really like it. Again, this is full Mavs that I'm running right now. I'll show gear after a run, or a little bit of a run here, and then we'll showcase gear, swap out some things, try out the other version of this build, a little bit different version. So the thing about this build too is, like, when you're playing in a group, it doesn't do like that much damage, but it's an extremely good support character just because of the mass freeze. Like, look at these guys, totally immobile for like 2 seconds. It says like 1 second, but I feel like it's longer than that. Let's test. 0, 1, 2. It's about 2. It's about 2 seconds. And I think that's because, nope, I don't know. It says 1 second, but I'm pretty sure it's 2. So they freeze quite a bit. I use 1 point in a Valkyrie to keep the heat off me if I need to. You can also do the same thing with decoys. But yeah, I literally just found Talrosh's armor, 100 MF, like when I was just testing this build earlier. 100 MF Tals, so that was pretty sick as well. So yeah, that is the Mav part. I'll show you my gear real quick, as you can see the showcase of what we're doing here. I do use Ice Arrow for single target because the damage is a lot higher on single target. But, you know, Freezing Arrow is mainly for that AoE freeze, or freezes everything around. It's really nice. And then I use Guided Arrow to take out, like, cold immunes. So yeah, that's that. Now, let's go back to town, swap out my gear in a second after we showcase this gear. Again, we're running Mavs. There's definitely some improvements that could be made with this gear for sure. I haven't like ultra min-maxed everything. Like, this hasn't been puzzle box, for example. This only has 1 socket. You could definitely get better than 1 socket. Looks like we got an ED jewel in there. Like, nothing has been super ultra min-max. I'm just showcasing that ultimately Mavina's is actually pretty good. Oops, throwing my potions on the ground. And our res is nice. We do have a lot of points in the strength and dex. Ultimately, all you want for Mavina's, or even this just freezing arrow build, you want enough points in the strength to wear your gear. Same thing with dexterity, and then the rest in vitality. On physical bow builds, sometimes you want to go full dexterity, just because you do more damage on the physical side of things with dexterity. So that's an option, but not the case on a freezing arrow build. And then we got a 3-socket corruption here on the Mavina's True Sight. I put 15 IES jewels in there. So, running High Lords, running NSOJ, 10 FCR is not necessary, of course. And we have BK over here. And then, you know, replenish life corruption. And then I'm running Treads of Cthon to hit that 100% chance to pierce. Again, 100% chance to pierce is actually a lot better than 99, just because you are always, every single time, going to pierce guys, regardless of how many there are. Kane wants to talk to us. I don't want to talk to him. Well, maybe he wants to ID my stuff and steal it real quick. Yep, that was gonna be a 20 life and 5 all res. He swapped it out for 1 to 2 cold damage. Absolute savage. So, and then on swap here, we have Naja's Puzzler. As far as merc gear goes, we're rocking Infinity for the lower resistance, or lower cold resist in this scenario. Running Laying of Hands, Nosferatus, Gore Riders, Chains of Honor, Vamp Gaze. There's that Vamp Gaze again. I still haven't put sockets, or put anything in the sockets yet. Ultimately, all I care about right now, just for testing purposes, is the fact that we're doing Infinity there. You could put whatever else you want on him for specific utility, but this is a generally decent all-around setup. You could go Fortitude instead of Chains of Honor. You could go Andes instead of V-Gaze. You know, there's other options out there. Steel Skull. You know, whatever. But yeah, let's take a look now at the different setup of this build, and I haven't actually tested this one out yet, so let's see how it goes. I am gonna have to swap out that ring for this one because it does not have Cannot Be Frozen. And this, again, obviously it's not like the super ultra best in slot gear, but you'll get the picture with it. And just in case you didn't realize what we're just running some charms to bring up the res a little bit, but you know, I could min-max this a little bit more to bring up this res again. Ultimately, I'm not too worried about it because of the amount of CC that this build has, and with the opportunity to cast Valkyries and decoys. All of these are bow and crossbow skillers, because plus skills is extremely important with the skill. Like elemental bows are it's really important to just make sure you get plus skills. You got Torch, we got a really nice Annie over here. Again, I just wanted to shout out, Tierbad is allowing us to borrow this gear. The Mavina's gear is mine, but Tierbad, who hit 99 on the ladder, so congrats to him. He's Bowazon, and he allows us to try out his old gear. The rolls on this isn't the best, but I wanted to give it a shot. We have Ice in a GMB. He did mention that Matriarchal Bow is actually probably better for this, just because the IES breakpoint is a lot lower to like reach. The thing is with GMB, the GMB does more damage against like cold immunes and stuff, so that's the advantage there. Frost Burns with mana after kill, that's actually a pretty sick corruption. Then we got Razor Tail. If I wasn't running these boots, and I guess I could just swap these boots out temporarily with Elders. Yeah, so we're running Razor Tail. Make sure again that 100% pierce, it's very important. Plus the skills. Nightwing's Veil. Not the craziest roll, but you know, it still counts. So yeah, we're swapping those few items out, and let's see how this plays out for the rest of this cow run. Again, I'm not swapping this out. He did recommend trying out an Act 5 Merc with Faith, and I will try that in a sec. I just want to see how this feels. We are now reaching definitely bigger damage. I definitely feel big damage difference. The only issue, like we mentioned just before, is IES. IES is struggling right now. Act 1 Faith, not Act 5. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I don't know if I said that wrong. But you can definitely tell a damage difference here. And then Ice also has the Holy Freeze for the CC and survivability. You have a chance to cast Blizzard when you level up, which kind of is meh. But the Frost Nova, on the other hand, level 32 Frost Nova is a nice CC. You also have Ignore Target's Defense, so you're always getting your physical damage hits, which means you're always stealing life. So that's kind of nice, and you're always stealing mana if you have mana steal on. Those are some nice things there. And, you know, minus cold res, plus cold skill damage, very good things. Yeah, the damage is definitely better with the setup. But the setup is definitely more expensive as well. This build is just a lot of fun, dude. Honestly, Ice with the Frost Nova 2 popping off is... it's visually pleasing as well. So yeah, we'll do, oh, this guy's immune to physical and cold. Come on, game. Come on, game. Yeah, I think we'll actually run another cow and then try out the Act 1 Merc. I'm just gonna swap out the bow and swap out the gear and see how Faith feels. I'm sure it's gonna feel a lot better with the IES. Go next. Alright, now we have the Act 1 Faith Merc set up, and we're gonna see how this goes. Level 13 Fanaticism. You can honestly look up a IES calculator online. Just look up like D2 IES calculator, or in my chat, I believe you can type exclamation IES, and it'll pop up the website in order to take a look at what the breakpoints specifically are. But I think like 13 Fanaticism is either like 95 IES or 98 or somewhere around there. I'm actually not sure, but let's take a look at how this all feels now that we have an Act 1 Merc instead of an Act... oh my gosh. Instead of an Act 2 Merc with Conviction. Ultimately, I'm liking this better. That feels amazing, dude. Would recommend. Feels really good. Again, this is with the ice runeword setup. As you can see, we're not glowing, so I will try this out as well with the Mavina setup and see how it feels. But Mavina's is good, and it can definitely get better if you put like facets in there. That's the thing about this, is you have rune words, right? In ice, you have a rune word, so you got runes in there. You can't put anything else in there. What you rolled is what it's gonna get. Whereas Mavina's caster, the bow, you could like get a bunch of sockets on it, or you could, you know, get a nice corruption on it or whatever. Like, there's potential with it. So Mavina's can be good for sure, but it'll take a little bit of work in order to like probably keep up with this pace, honestly. Yeah, my damage output is absolutely insane right now. I'm really liking this a lot. Let's try out Mavina's, just because I'm curious with the Act 1 Mercenary. Alright, let's give it a run. Holy smokes. Well, it shoots fast. Magic resistant? That's not a good example. Stone skin and magic resistant. If I had conviction merc, that would have been, you would have been dead way faster. I'd say after just playing this for a few seconds, I feel like this would be better. Like if you had this setup, this would be better support setup. Just because like I again have 75 IES just in my helmet. Like I have, does it say how much IES here? I have 135 IES. So I'm definitely at max breakpoint here. A little bit overkill.
It's locked.
But yeah, I do like it. I think that this setup right now, just specifically for, without, you know, having crazy GMB, and without getting like maybe facets or something, or a bunch of sockets in my armor, I think it's a really good support setup at the moment. But again, I just wanted to show this off because like this build is a ton of fun. Very visually pleasing as well, just like freezing everything and everything turns into ice cubes. Like cow farming is super fun with this. And then, you know, super good if you're playing in a group and you need someone to have some massive CC. It's like very, very good with CC, as you can see. Again, it's just the problem in maps is cold immunes. So tier 2 maps, it was okay. It was like clearing alright, like I said earlier, but like it's just unfortunate that all those cats just like stack up and stuff. Yeah, definitely recommend trying out this build, seeing what you can do with it. I know that the damage gets up there. I haven't been super impressed with where is it? Can't find it. There we go. Cold arrow. But I know that the cold arrow damage can get up there, and maybe somebody has made some awesome cold arrow setups. But ultimately, I love the freezing arrow just because the insane CC and the fact of every time it pierces a monster, like it procs that CC again. Ice arrow's sick for that single target again. It's like big damage. But yeah, that's a couple different versions of this build, and hope you all enjoyed. I think that pretty much covers everything. We went over the merc gear, both mercs. And then, yeah, tried out both of the setups. So thank you all for watching, and much love. You guys are beasts.